Welcome back to the Grandstands. This is Robbie Hyde, and today I'm going over the top 3 teams that could trade for David Price. Coming in at number 3 on my list are the St. Louis Cardinals. The St. Louis Cardinals right now, they have a rotation of Flaherty, McCullers, Hudson, Wainwright, and maybe Carlos Martinez, who has been wanting to get back into the starting rotation. For the Red Sox, the reason the Cardinals could be an attractive trade partner is the Cardinals could use a legitimate ace in their rotation. Flaherty is definitely their best starting pitcher, but to add a David Price to that list would only just make the Cardinals better. With that first round exit to the Braves, you could tell they really could have used another starting pitcher. And David Price, I think, could be a really good fit on that team. Things that the Cardinals have that could be of interest to the Red Sox are a couple of guys in the bullpen. Maybe they could trade for Carlos Martinez and convince him, hey, you know what? Come to Boston, come be our closer. Maybe they could bring Andrew Miller back, who struggled a little bit last year, and his contract isn't too bad. So I think the Cardinals could be a good trade partner. Maybe even Jackie Bradley could be in a trade as well. The Cardinals really could use a guy in center field, especially with someone like Bradley, who can give you a little more pop. And in my opinion, he's the best defensive center fielder in all of baseball. Coming in at number 2 on my list are the San Diego Padres. Now, the San Diego Padres have a current rotation of Paddock, Richards, Davies, Lamet, Lucchesi, Quantrill. They do have some starting pitching depth, but really, none of those guys really stick out as a legitimate ace of that rotation. Adding David Price would be quite an upgrade for their starting rotation. Now, the thing about the Padres that I think makes them interesting is this is a team that signed Manny Machado. They signed Eric Hosmer. They just made all these new uniforms. The San Diego Padres are dying to be relevant. They are dying to be that team in California again. And trading for a David Price can really upgrade that team. And I think a fresh start for David Price would be good. Going to the West Side, California, he would love the sun, the beaches. I think he would be a good fit. The Padres do have some things that they can offer the Red Sox. The one thing the Padres have that the Red Sox do not are young prospects. The Padres are loaded with prospects. They have a lot of young players that they could ship back to Boston for a David Price, maybe one of their younger starting pitchers, to where in return they are getting an experienced veteran in David Price. David Price on the Padres would be a decent upgrade for that team and would help make them competitive in that National League West. And coming in at number 1 on my list are the LA Dodgers. Now the Dodgers, they have a current rotation of Clayton Kershaw, Walker Buehler, Hye-Yin Ryu, who is a free agent, but it's looking pretty good that he might go back to the Dodgers. It was a good fit, and he did really well for the Dodgers last year. And there's also Kenta Maeda, who I'll get to here in a second. But the Dodgers, they have been a team for the last 3 years that have just not been able to get over that hump. Starting pitching has been okay, but Kershaw, being that guy in the playoffs, he time and time again has not been able to get it done. I think someone like the addition of a David Price would be amazing for that team. A 1-2 punch like that, where David Price can come in and be almost like a mentor to Kershaw in a way for the playoffs. Kershaw is someone that we know that just can't get that postseason monkey off of his back. David Price got that monkey off his back. Price could come in and just help him out. Some potential players that maybe the Dodgers could send back. You have A.J. Pollock, who could possibly take over for an outfield spot if Bradley or maybe Mookie Betts were to get traded. You also have Kenta Maeda, where interesting lately, he is wanting to get back to being a full-time starting pitcher. The Dodgers really liked him in his relief role, especially towards the end of the season and in the playoffs. A trade with David Price and maybe Maeda coming back to the Red Sox, he would fill in nicely in that rotation. He proved to be a pretty decent pitcher last year with an ERA in the low fours. And he has a very friendly contract. He signed an 8-year, $25 million deal when he first signed with the Dodgers. Overall, I think the Dodgers are the best fit for David Price. I think the Dodgers can help out the Red Sox when it comes to salary, and I think they could find even ground when it comes to a trade. Mookie Betts could also be thrown in. The Dodgers have been talking with the Red Sox about getting Mookie. There is a potential there for a blockbuster trade of a Mookie Betts and a David Price being sent to the Dodgers. I'm still not totally convinced that Betts is going to go. But I mean, when you really look at it, if you're able to shed that much salary by getting rid of a David Price and a Mookie Betts, you're saving over $50 million right there. I really do think the Red Sox, if they were to trade David Price, there are some options on the starting pitching free agent market. There's a high reward, low risk guy in Taijuan Walker that's out there. But a lot of people are forgetting also about Julio Teheran, who was on the Braves. He's thrown at least 170 innings for at least 5 to 6 years now. He would be a solid replacement if David Price were to go. So that's all I have for today. Those are my 3 top destinations for David Price. If you can, leave a like, subscribe, that would be awesome. And leave a comment down below. Tell me what you think. Where do you think David Price could be traded? Thanks for watching today, and I'll catch you next time.